Thank you to our sponsor, Ayana. With over 100 EV charging locations now open to customers, Ayana is reimagining what public charging should be in the US. Reliable, fast, and easy to use. Every Ayana rechargery is built with the customer in mind.
Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Reviews, where today I find myself in La Jolla, California. We're checking out the Lexus ES today, but Lexus pulled a fast one and they brought a new TZ. This is the sister ship to the Toyota Highlander. Boy, oh boy, is this a special piece to have here for us to check out today. This is a beautiful 3-row, a lot of luxury built into this. Clearly this is a prototype. It's going to be available coming this fall, maybe towards the end of the year, with 2 battery sizes, and it will give you up to 300 miles of range. Maybe not with the 22s that are shown on this vehicle, but let's get into this review on Out of Spec Reviews of the Lexus TZ. So like I said, this is the new Lexus TZ. It's actually Lexus's brand's first 3-row all-electric, all-wheel drive SUV. So it's going to be arriving late this year, 2026, maybe 2027 early, but most likely fall of 2026. It's built on the dedicated TNGA-derived BEV platform with a driving lounge concept. Check out this back seat here. Look at this. Now, this is not final yet, but that looks super comfortable. The rake that you can put these back are quite amazing. Now, in terms of dimensions, this is 201 inches long. Overall width is just over 78 inches. Overall height, 67 inches. And the wheelbase is 121 inches, or 120 inches. Towing capacity up to 3,500 for North America. Curb weight, 5,800 pounds. Tire sizes, you can go with 20s or 22s. And the drag coefficient, which is pretty amazing, is only 0.27. And you compare that to the ES, which is 0.25. Boy, how did they do that? It's just something with the way that the air is flowing over the sheet metal here in the front that they were able to accomplish that.
So here I am editing the video on the TZ, and I was just talking to Kyle about how impressive this coefficient of drag at 0.27 was. And he goes, Dad, you got to remember something. That CD, the coefficient of drag, while impressive of 0.27 for an SUV, no doubt about it, that ignores the frontal area of the car. So theoretically, you could have a matchbox size car, he said, that could have a 0.27 coefficient of drag, and you could have a huge SUV that's got a 0.27 coefficient of drag. The coefficient of drag CDA, which is measured in square meters or square feet, that's the frontal area. The A is really the frontal area. So the projected front view of the car is kind of adjusted when you add in the coefficient of drag with the A, not just the CD. CDA is the real world number that really determines how much aerodynamic drag car actually produces. And, you know, the physics make sense, right? So while hats off to Lexus for getting the CD down to 0.27, this is a big vehicle. So, you know, especially for EVs, CDA is really what matters. Makes sense to me.
As far as the powertrain, this has the direct 4 all-wheel drive system, dual motors, torque vectoring, variable front-rear distribution, 60/40, or up to a 0-100 front-rear and acceleration adjusted for cornering, which is pretty good. The smaller battery size is 76.96 kilowatt hours. The larger battery size is 96.82 kilowatt hours with a usable amount. That's gross. Usable is about 90 kilowatt hours in some reports that we've heard of. As far as power, up to about 408 horsepower, 300 kilowatts total, and 0 to 62 is going to be 5.4 seconds, which is the same as the ES 500 electric. So again, range up to around 300 miles. That would be with the 20-inch wheels. So you can see, similar to the ES, there are paddle shifters over there which are going to control the regen in the vehicle. But yeah, check out this interior. I mean, these seats look very inviting, really nice, super comfortable. I can tell you I had plenty of headroom in here, sitting in this nice, beautiful cabin. And yeah, it's really, it's a nice place to actually spend some time. And then when you look in the rear of the vehicle over in here, you can see all the way back there. It's not a 6-seater. I might have said 7. It is a 6-seater, I'm sorry, not a 7-seater. And these rear seats look I mean, they really have this lounge concept down pretty well.
So clearly, I think the Highlander will compete with this. I would anticipate the Highlander, the Toyota sister ship, probably coming in, maybe the base one's 5560, maybe 6570 for the higher trim ones. But who is going to compete with this vehicle? I would say Ioniq 9, EV9, definitely the EX90, and maybe the Cadillac, definitely the Cadillac Vistic. This vehicle most likely will probably start around 65 to 70 in the lower trims, and then maybe get up like, 75, 80K for the higher trims. That's just my guess, but that feels about right based on where things are going. So, I think that's going to be interesting. Gravity is also an interesting 3-row SUV. Would the Buzz compete with it? I mean, the Buzz is expensive. I don't know if that's really going to compete with this vehicle from someone cross-shopping it. But, look, I think those are kind of the vehicles that will be competing with this. It's not like the Escalade IQ. That's just a beast of a machine. So this is kind of more in that, that Gravity, EX90, Vistic, Ioniq 9, EV9, kind of like that size. But really a lot starting to heat up in these 3-row EV SUVs, that's for sure.
What do you think about this? I mean, this is kind of a nice looking vehicle, and it's good to see that Lexus is putting an all-electric version of this on the road and allowing us to be able to go out and choose electric for this 6-seater SUV. All right, so you can see on this TZ there is no frunk. There's also no struts here. This is a prototype, obviously. There's a lot of different things that are not necessarily finalized yet, but we have a classic old metal piece that holds up the hood there. You'll also notice that this is where the charge port is, and it will come down just like it does on the ES. Now don't freak out, because this is not final production. You'll notice something for all you European fans. We've got the charge port there on, I would say, the wrong side, but final production, good news folks, they're going to be putting it on the correct side, on the starboard side in the front panels, just like they have it on the ES, and it will be NACS compatible, or it's going to be a NACS port, which is going to be very good. So I think that as you look at this vehicle, we're blessed to be able to have it here, honored. So happy that Lexus brought it here at the ES event here in La Jolla, but nothing is finalized yet, but this is what it looks like. It's basically the premium version of the Toyota Highlander, and it looks really nice. Interesting color, green. I think it offsets nicely with a lot of the piano black that is here. But yeah, nice. Really psyched to be able to see this vehicle here. Let's see. We can go ahead and open up the rear, and you'll see it says Lexus all lit up right there. They haven't really finalized whether they're going to have premium or luxury, kind of like what they do over in the ES, but it's not going to be leather. It's going to be some kind of a synthetic leather. They do have heated seats back in here for the 3rd row, and you'll notice that there's quite a deep pocket back in here for storage, which is good. And then there's a place to store the little cover in case you want to put that up there. A couple of other things that I found interesting about this vehicle that I want to point out is that they have on the interior here, on the door panel, they're going to have a Mark Levinson available sound system. I'm not sure how many speakers or how many watts it's going to be, but this is forged bamboo. So they take crushed bamboo and under high pressure put it in there. It's a really cool material, and this is nice soft sort of a suede-like material. And let me put the seat down here and back. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside, what this vehicle is looking like on the interior. So it seems as though it's very similar. 14-inch screen here in the center. We've got a 12.3-inch screen here. I'm not sure if these are final materials that are in here. Looks like there's 2 charging ports. Yeah, they're both, they say that they're lit. We've got 1, 2, 3 USB-C And that looks like a US, that almost looks like a HDMI. I wonder what's going on with that. Very big glove box right here. Heated and cooled seats, and a huge panoramic opening roof back in here that really is quite nice. You've got a mirror here that I believe, I'll have to check, but at least I know in the ES, it's digital in one way and analog in the other, or just regular glass. But yeah, cup holders right here. Opens up to the side just like the ES does as well. Very similar in terms of putting it into gear. You got hold. I don't know that they're going to have one pedal driving in this vehicle. Look at these seats back in here. Now, obviously there's not a lot of room for where I was sitting because I'm 6'5", but if you're able to recline these chairs like this, and maybe if you're really short, you're going to have an amazing rear seat experience in this vehicle, similar to what's in the executive sort of option on the ES that's over there. This center console is removable, which is nice. And check out this roof, how big it is. Man, it's just massive there. You'll notice that this particular vehicle is rigged up with some 22s, some big wheels, low profile tires, really kind of a nice look there with those wheels, sort of a green and black. It's a really solid looking vehicle. I like the look of it. So this is pure electric. It's going to be badged the 450e, which is, that's what it's going to be called. So listen, hopefully this gave you a quick peek at the new TZ from Lexus that's going to be coming out later this year. Thanks again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Reviews, and we'll catch you on the next one.